Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with the FX Market Insight for Tuesday, the 11th of June. All right, now as we sort of cruise into the Asian session, you can just see there that the Japanese market is about to open up. So that'll really kick things off for the Asian session. But that's about as far as it goes for me. I can't see a hell of a lot of activity just at the moment. There are a couple of releases to keep an eye on. So if you just come down, we've got the NAB business conditions. Okay, I mean, it's just an advertising tool for the NAB, but the real major release will be the climate count change. You can actually see here, this data here is really high impacting, but because of Brexit, the news services have really toned it down. Like it's almost becoming inconsequential, and it's one of the biggest data releases Sterling used to have. So just be aware, that's the impact and the frustration of these geopolitical events. So coming into, we just came out of the European market where there was sort of holidays through the European session. Now that liquidity will come into the market today, Tuesday. And just having a look here though, it's not it's not really Groundhog Day, but close to it. We don't really have a match up here on the technical side of things with the general fundamentals, right? What that does is it makes trading very disjointed. There's no continuation from from data release to fundamentals, et cetera, and that's because these geopolitical events are continuing to just unravel the market. We have weak US employment numbers. Now, this is a great starting point coming into a week where we've got US CPI data. Now, what you're looking for is the US CPI data to match up with that weak employment data. Then we get a clear move on the US dollar. Unfortunately, what we're getting on the back end of it is we're getting more weird things from Trump and more inclinations that they are going to add more tariffs to China after the upcoming G20. And also Brexit has completely really diffused sterling and it's become a bit of a basket case sort of even in all the institutions. So what we're going to look for is look for the the core market, which is the fundamentals. Do not discount the impact of the average earnings or the climate count change. The overall employment data out of the UK, this is really important. Of course, Brexit is at this stage more important. That's why it's being overlooked. But don't be detracted. This is very high impacting data. All right, that's pretty much all we've got. You've got the, for those traders who have come through the educational side, where's the cash this week? I'm going to be looking at really connecting the dots here to work out where is the cash in the market at the moment. It may look like there's not much on, but you've got to prepare yourself for the key opportunities coming up and which particular pairs are the best ones to focus on. That's what I'll be looking at. All right, so the MyFX Trading Hub, we've got the main part of that. Just have a quick look at the charts. I just want to give you a look through here, and you can sort of see where the basket case is. Now, the Aussie had been sort of scrambling to the top side on a short-term perspective after hitting around 68 and a half. Now, the new latest Trump tariffs, or the talk about it, has driven the Aussie lower. Now, this is after weak US numbers on Friday, right? So you'd think it was going to push to the top side. Well, I did after that. But then the geopolitical event comes in and really pushes it back down into the range, same as the Kiwi. We had that gap on Monday on dollar yen after Mexico and the US agreed to, some migration issues there. So dollar yen now trading sideways. Euro, it's doing the old step up, but you know what? This thing's not backing off. I think the market's still short euro, and there's a chance for it to still squeeze higher, but we'll probably need those US CPI numbers coming into Wednesday's trading to really be weak. And then we'll see euro. That'll sort euro out one way or the other. Here's sterling. I mean, I don't even know what to say about sterling. Like it is so random at the moment. It drifts into the picture of the US dollar occasionally, but once you get into that European session, it's the Brexit random updates which are causing major issues. And from what I can read, there's no major clarity who's going to be leading the UK. So once again, uncertainty across the board. Dollar CAD, well, strong Canadian data, weak US numbers have seen dollar CAD push to the downside. We do have a nice resistance line here. This is probably to me, my preferred pair to be trading right at the moment. The only thing is, it's moving against one of the core fundamentals for dollar CAD, which is oil. Now, oil has been falling. If oil starts to rally, it'll fit perfectly into the dollar CAD moving lower. Weak US employment numbers, strong Canadian employment numbers. This thing was going down, but you can see it's factored into the market now. So to me, selling back towards 133 sort of 20 looks like probably one of the best opportunities at the moment. All right, so that's where we are with regards the major data. I mean, I'll just give you a look at the news page. I mean, once again, Trump is splattered all over the various pages. So just be aware that that's sitting in the market. The Mexico tariff situation, well, that averted some sort of crap. But basically that Mexico deal on Monday really confused the market with regards to the dollar movement direction, right? We had, obviously, the US dollar, a bit of weakness after the US non-farm payrolls. This geopolitical issue diffuses that direction, and now we're waiting for it to reconnect again, and that's going to be a couple of days for the US CPI. Outside of that, you're focusing on the individual pairs to work out where the best opportunities are. So just keep an eye on the fundamentals. They are the key parts that you want to focus on, and you've got some data to sort of connect the dots there as well. All right, guys, that's it from me. Have a good trade day. Cheerio.